All right, you know what's been pissing me off? It's all these like flashy anecdotes of, oh, IP and EJs, they burned down the tribe, and EPs and IJs, they're like triggered by technology and they're into conspiracy theories. There's gonna be a subset of people that for whom those are their main problems, but most people are not ruining their lives based on these things. And the way that you know it is you have like all these like EPs, I'm gonna pick on the EPs in this video, who are like, oh yeah, I really hate taxes, oh, I really hate control. It's like, dude, if you're laughing about it, that's probably not your issue. Dude, I hate taxes too. And it seems like you're doing your taxes. How much is it really ruining your life? On the flip side, what do you see with like the ENFPs? A lot of them have drug problems. They are alcoholics, they addicted to prescription drugs, smoke weed all day. Not to say that that's what most of them do. We talk about all like these government conspiracies and all this sort of stuff. What you miss out on are like real everyday issues that different types really struggle with, that are not that flashy. It's much easier to talk about like, oh, I hate taxes and like the government, rather than, what drink are you on? It's the middle of the day, my dude. If you look at a lot of the really successful ENFPs, they tend to be sober, even from things like weed. I'm sure people are gonna be like, oh, it's been shown to be okay and my this and that. And like, look, man, I agree with you. I'm not saying that people should stop using substances. I'm just saying you should stop. And it goes back to like, look, if you can joke about it, that's probably not your trigger. If this is triggering you, then this might be it. Now let's move on to the ENTPs. I know the IPs have this reputation of like burning down the tribe. Actually, really, it's the ENTPs who end up getting blocked by half their family on Facebook just because they have to say it. They have to say it. And then on the flip side, they get triggered by censorship. They might literally lose jobs, relationships, because they couldn't keep their mouth shut. And look, I believe in free speech. I think people should be allowed to say whatever they want and actually go out of their way to share those convictions that they really believe that could benefit the world. And so I'm not saying that people should stop sharing what they think. I'm just saying you should shut the fuck up. God, tribe is gonna love this. All right, who's next? All right, the lead SEs, the ESFPs and the ESTPs. What is their problem? So with the lead SEs, you might be looking at like, oh, government conspiracies. And again, I'm sure there's a lot of like COVID deniers and all that business in this group. But again, that's not ruining their lives. They're probably making friends actually from connecting with people who believe the same thing that they do. That's not burning down their lives. What is burning down their life is switching jobs. That next job is the same as your last job. You actually have a pretty good situation. Your job is pretty good. That relationship is pretty good. And then you have to like swipe next. Lead SEs have a little bit of like, okay, you have to accept me as I am, especially the ESFPs. With the FIs, like, you have to accept me exactly how I am. Meanwhile, they themselves don't accept themselves how they are. That's why you see a lot of cosmetic surgery and all this sort of stuff in that type. Like, that is their real struggle. The other problem with the ESFPs, they surround themselves with really bad people, right? And then they have like paranoia on the side, like, oh, another person ended up being a snake. It's like, dude, these people have horrible track records. Why do you have to be so cool with people? You're too cool with people. You should dial it back. And the ESTPs cannot hang on to a relationship. ISTPs, not that much better, I'll be honest. I have like my specific life. I ride a motorcycle. You're not gonna let me ride a motorcycle. You're gonna say any shit about my motorcycle, I'm out. You're gonna say any shit about like what I do on this and this, you're out. Dude, just compromise a little bit. And stop cheating on all your partners. Let's do a quick rundown. If you're an ENFP and you're sober, you're doing great. If you're an ENTP and most of your friends and family still like you, you're doing great. If you're an ESFP and you can hold down a job and not hate yourself when you look in the mirror, you're doing great. And if you're an ESTP and you're not a complete fuckboy, you're doing great too. I'm picking on the EPs because it's a little bit easier for me to see their problems and to use them to illustrate the point. You need to be focusing on where your triggers are and real areas of discomfort are, because that's where your area of growth or the thing that's holding you back really is. Not like something of like, oh yeah, haha, yes, taxes, oh haha, whatever. If you're saying haha, that's not it. This applies to all the types. This is not gonna be a series of like, oh, the real problems with EJs and IJs, and because I don't really know all that stuff, or the real problem with IPs. If I knew what the problem with IPs were, do you think I'd be sitting here talking to you? I'd be off on a yacht somewhere with my other IP buddies, showing how much better we are than you. Anyway, that's all I got. And just a little advice for all types. I don't know why it's so hard for you dipshits to understand this. Just be kind. It's not that difficult. Catch you next time. Why did my mom get me this?